There are wins that make you stand up and cheer, and then there are wins that make you question everything. The 2026 US Open gave us the second kind. Shinnecock Hills didn't cheer a champion that Sunday. They booed him. Wyndham Clark walked off with the trophy, but a massive chunk of the golf world is convinced he walked off with something else. A rulebook loophole, a generous official, and a piece of video proof that conveniently vanished into thin air. We're not talking about a bad bounce or bad luck. We are talking about the 17th hole. A wayward tee shot, a free drop next to a TV camera platform. But before the ball even hit the ground, Clark was seen moving grass, flattening it, improving the spot. The clip spread across social media in minutes. Fans called it clear cheating. Then, just as fast as it appeared, the video was gone. Now, Clark isn't new to this kind of heat. Oakmont, the locker room destruction, the ban, the apology that came too late. So when this footage surfaced, nobody gave him the benefit of the doubt. The USGA says it was all legal. But here is the uncomfortable question nobody wants to answer. Does legality matter when it looks this dirty? Here's my POV. If you move grass to make a drop sit perfectly, are you playing golf or are you gaming the system? Let me know your take in the comments. And if you hate seeing the integrity of the game stretched this thin, hit that subscribe button. We cut through the PR spin to give you the real story. Because the real story is not just about that one blade of grass. It's about why the footage disappeared. It's about what the USGA is trying to sweep under the rug. And it's about a player who keeps pushing the line further and further. Stick around, because we are about to break down exactly what happened on that 17th hole, frame by frame, and you won't want to miss it. Before we hit rewind on that footage, we have to talk about the guy holding the club, because the outrage didn't start at Shinnecock. For a lot of golf fans, this was the moment they had been waiting for. Let's go back a bit. 2025, Oakmont, one of the most sacred clubhouses in American golf. Clark missed the cut by a single stroke. Instead of shaking hands and walking off, he went inside and destroyed 2 locker room doors. Historic doors. Banned. Forced to pay for the damage. Forced into anger management. And when he finally came back, he gave a speech about regretting it. But the damage was already done. Remember the Arnold Palmer Invitational a year before that? The footage was grainy, but the intent was clear. Clark was in thick rough, and he pressed his club down behind the ball, flattening the grass, improving the lie. The rulebook says you can't do that, but no penalty was given. The golf world shrugged it off, but real fans didn't forget. They noticed. Now, when you see a guy do this repeatedly, your mind starts to wander. Is it bad luck? Is it carelessness? Or is it a pattern of pushing the boundaries just far enough to see what he can get away with? The casual viewer might ignore it, but the diehard, the one who watches the rulebook breakdowns and the slow-motion replays, they smell something wrong. That Sunday at Shinnecock, the crowd wasn't just watching a golfer. They were watching a guy they already didn't trust. That was the warning shot, but the real detonation was still a year away. He knew it too. You could see it in his face. The tension, the forced smiles. When a player has this kind of baggage, every questionable shot gets magnified. Every ruling is inspected with a magnifying glass. So when his tee shot on that par 3 17th sailed left and nestled near a camera platform, the air changed. It wasn't just a bad break, it was an opportunity. And for a guy who has already bent the rules before, one question hung in the air. Would he do it again? We promised you a frame-by-frame breakdown of that drop. But before we zoom in on the grass and the knee-high release, we have to be honest about the referee standing right there. Because that USGA official had a job to do, and what he allowed to happen in those next 30 seconds is the reason we are having this conversation right now. The atmosphere leading up to that moment was electric. Shinnecock Hills is a beast of a course. The wind swirls, the greens are slick, the rough is thick enough to swallow a golf ball whole. Clark was in the lead, but he wasn't comfortable. Every time he walked to his ball, the crowd murmured. Every time he addressed his putt, someone shouted something from the grandstand. It wasn't just pressure, it was hostility. The fans had long memories. They remembered Oakmont. They remembered the club throw at the PGA Championship. They remembered the rough at Bay Hill, and they were ready to see him crumble. Then came the 17th. It's a short par 3, but it demands precision. Clark pulls his iron. The ball drifts left. It bounces once, twice, and stops right next to the TV camera platform. He walks up to assess the situation. An official walks over too. Clark points at the platform. The official nods. Yes, it's an immovable obstruction. Yes, he gets free relief. That part is legal. No one argues with that. But what happens next is where the gray area turns dark. Clark takes a practice drop. He holds the ball at knee height. He lets it go. The ball rolls. It rolls toward the platform again. He picks it up. He gets a second drop. Same result. According to the rules, if the ball rolls back to the obstruction or ends up in a spot that gives him no chance, he gets to place it. But before he places it, his hand goes down. He brushes the grass. Not a gentle swipe, a firm press. He flattens the spot. He creates a perfect little table for his ball. Then he places it down. It sits up perfectly. He has a clear shot to the green. The ball landed near the camera stand. A free drop. Simple. Except Clark saw something else. An edge. And he took it. This is the moment. The official is standing right there. He sees the grass being moved. He says nothing. Clark hits his shot. It lands on the green. He saves par. He walks off the 17th with the tournament still firmly in his grip. But the damage was done. The footage was already uploaded. Fans zoomed in. They saw the hand. They saw the grass move. They saw the official do nothing. Now, let's talk about what the rulebook actually says. Under USGA Rule 15, you are allowed to move loose impediments, pebbles, leaves, twigs, but the surface of the ground, that is not a loose impediment. You cannot improve the lie of your ball. You cannot press down grass. You cannot create a new groove for your ball to rest in. Clark moved the grass to make his ball sit perfectly. That is improving the lie. That is, by the strictest reading of the rule, a violation. But the official did not call it. Why? Because he argued Clark was simply preparing the ground for the drop. It was a generous interpretation, and it saved Clark from a two-stroke penalty. If that penalty had been given, Clark would have dropped to second place. He would have lost the US Open, but he didn't. The trophy stayed his. And now, the golf world is split. Half of them say, it was legal, the official was there, move on. The other half say, he cheated, he got away with it, and the official helped him. The debate rages on social media, but one thing is certain, the trust in the rules took a massive hit that day. That was the move. And now, the video was everywhere, for a few hours at least. And then, the weirdest thing happened. The video started disappearing. The original post on X from Neusler Golf was taken down. Not hidden, gone. Other reposts vanished too. Fans started asking, where is the footage? Some said the USGA complained to the platform. Others said the broadcaster, Peacock, issued a copyright strike to control the narrative. The conspiracy theorists said the USGA wanted to bury it to save face. Whatever the reason, the smoking gun was suddenly harder to find. The video proof that everyone saw on Sunday afternoon was nowhere to be seen by Monday morning. This is the part of the story that makes fans furious, because it feels like a cover-up. If the video showed nothing wrong, why remove it? If it was a legal play, why not leave it up for everyone to see? The USGA held a press conference. They said Clark did nothing wrong. They said the official made the right call, but they didn't explain why the footage of the incident was scrubbed. The silence is louder than any denial. It creates a vacuum of trust. And into that vacuum, the fans poured their outrage. They didn't just vent online. They brought it to the course. The final round at Shinnecock was an ugly scene. Fans shouted at Clark. They cheered his mishits. They yelled things like, "Bad day to be a locker," and "Don't choke, Wyndham." The USGA started ejecting people. Multiple fans were walked off the property. Security was everywhere. It was the most hostile atmosphere at a major in years. Clark had to play in a bubble of pure hatred. And honestly, he handled it well. He kept his head down. He made the putts. He won by a few shots, but he didn't win any fans. During the trophy ceremony, he addressed the elephant in the room. He said, "New York didn't really like me. I love you guys, but I get it. Some of it's self-deserved. I did some unfortunate things last year that I really regret, and I've said sorry multiple times, and I'm still sorry. Hopefully, I can win you guys over eventually. It was a humble speech, but for many, it felt too little, too late. He admitted he deserved the hate. He apologized for Oakmont, but he did not apologize for the drop. He did not apologize for the grass. He acted like the 17th hole controversy did not exist. He thought the apology would close the book. Instead, it opened a new chapter of suspicion. Because now, we have to ask the bigger question. Why does this keep happening to Clark? Is it bad luck, or is he pushing the rules to the limit? We saw it at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. We saw it at Oakmont. We saw it at the PGA Championship with the club throw, and now we see it at the US Open. There is a pattern here. It is not a series of isolated incidents. It is a picture of a player who operates on the edge. He plays aggressively, not just with his swing, but with the rules. He tests the officials. He sees what they will allow, and so far, they have allowed almost everything. The real victim here might not be the fans or the other players. It might be the US Open itself. The championship is supposed to be the ultimate test of golf. It is supposed to be pure. But this year, the story is not about the spectacular shots or the leaderboard battles. The story is about a dropped ball and a missing video. That is a huge problem for the USGA boom. They need to restore confidence. They need to show that rules apply to everyone, even the big names. They need to be transparent. Instead, they removed the evidence and told everyone to calm down. Let's be honest about what we saw. We saw a man move grass. It wasn't a leaf. It wasn't a pebble. It was the playing surface. He flattened it. He made it perfect. He then dropped his ball on that perfect spot. That is not golf. Golf is about playing the ball as it lies. Golf is about accepting bad breaks. Golf is about integrity. When you manufacture a perfect lie, you are not playing the game. You are playing a system. So, what is the final verdict? Legally, he is the US Open champion. Morally, he has a lot of explaining to do. The video is gone, but the memory is not. We watched it. We saw the hand press down. We saw the official ignore it. We saw the fans explode with anger. And then we saw the footage vanish. That sequence of events is too strange to ignore. It leaves a bitter taste in the mouth of every true golf fan. We want to believe in the fairness of the sport. We want to believe the best player won. But when the evidence has to be hidden to protect the result is already tainted. Clark will keep the trophy. He will keep the check. He will keep the FedEx Cup points. But he won't keep the trust of the fans. Not completely. Not after this. And the USGA needs to take a long, hard look at how they handle these situations. If they let superstars manipulate the rules and then hide the evidence, they are destroying the foundation of the game. The rules are the only thing that separates golf from chaos. So here we are. The 2026 US Open will be remembered, not for the champion's brilliance, but for the controversy, for the grass, for the drop, and for the video that disappeared. It is a cautionary tale for the sport. We have to demand better. We have to hold officials accountable, and we have to remember what golf really is. It is a game of honesty. If we lose that, we lose everything. That's the cost of this scandal. It's not about one player anymore. It's about what we're willing to accept as fans. When we stop questioning the gray areas, the game stops being fair. And once fairness is gone, the sport we love becomes something else entirely. Something we might not recognize. But here's the thing about golf fans. We don't forget. We don't let go. We hold on to the moments that matter, the controversies that define eras, and the questions that deserve answers. This one isn't going away, not until we get the truth. The truth about what the official saw, the truth about why the footage vanished, the truth about whether Wyndham Clark crossed a line. We may never get all the answers, but we can't stop asking the questions. That's what makes us real fans. That's what keeps the game honest. And now, I want to hear from you. Did Wyndham Clark cheat? Was moving the grass a violation of the spirit of the game? Or was it just smart golf? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to stay updated on the biggest stories in golf, hit that subscribe button. We dig deeper than the headlines so you don't have to. Thanks for sticking around until the end. It means the world. We'll see you on the next one.